what is the standard implementation time for Applaud? So it kind of aligns a little bit to the last question too.
Yeah, and I think I would start off by answering that clearly a lot depends on the scope, but what I'd like to add to that, and the scope that I'm working with, time and time again with organizations, is around actually what are those key services. So a bit like that one-stop shop demo I was just walking you through, what are the key services that your employees are interacting with the most, and what are the ones that are causing the most challenge? And we tend to find we might end up then with sort of 5 to 7 key services, and then you start to think, actually, what are those key journeys that could be most beneficial? And I think by starting like that, it's more than test and learn. It's more than pilot, of course it is, but you're not necessarily trying to fix everything in the first wave. And I think by doing that, you're creating a much faster time to value. And I think then you're in a place where you're looking at a program of weeks into months versus months into years, which you can end up with some of the big HRIS changeovers. But Ivan, I'd refer to you as well, your experience on implementations.
Well, it always varies, how long does it take to implement anything in a big company? There's so many variables, but I think typically the average is, 3 months from kickoff to test with a month of deployment, 4-month projects. And like you say, Matthew, we always evangelize we call it a minimal lovable product, something that you can get out quickly that delivers value to everybody, rather than embarking on a big program of work. As soon as a customer says we want to do a 6-month project or a 1-year program, we always kind of like throw our hands up in horror, because the days of those big old programs for this sort of technology they should be behind us, really. It's different when you're looking at the big systems of record. You're migrating a global payroll across that is going to be a big work. You can't just do a small chunk. You've got to go for it. But with these sorts of solutions, you can pick off your pain points and just build up a nice sort of phased approach. Yeah. Typically, as a short question, a short answer is usually more than 3 months, and sort of around 4 or 5 for an organization of about 10,000 workers plus. Smaller organizations go live quicker. Large organizations can be a bit more ponderous, I guess.